technologies that we're working on. Now we talk about efficiency. Again, you're going to hear some of the same things that TK was talking about. We're looking for hybrids that have these native traits that will maximize water access through improved root systems. We want hybrids that have a very aggressive silking habit. That means that they're going to push those silks out in a very rapid manner. Ear flex is very important to us because we know that even under these very harsh environments, we have limited irrigation. Every now and then we do get rain in July and August, and if that happens and the environment's improved, we want to make sure that we have a hybrid out there that will compensate for those improved growing conditions. Stay green, late season plant health is extremely important. It's never fun to pick up corn at the end of the year. I've been on a couple of those service calls, and they're never fun to work when the guys are trying to pick up corn that's laying on the ground. We talked about accelerate yield technology, the fact that we're evaluating these in some very stable environments. We're going to talk a little bit about that in just a second. I think the big thing is that at the end of the day, we want to produce a hybrid that has very stable yield, which is to say that under extreme stress, that hybrid is very good at protecting its yield. It's not going to yield 220 bushels on 12 inches of water, but if we get that hybrid to produce 160 bushels, 180 bushels on 12 inches, that's what we're looking for. And that same hybrid, we want that hybrid to be able to adapt or perform if conditions improve. Now let's talk a little bit about our managed stress environments. And we have two sites that are very unique because the environment is very stable year after year. One is in Bolivia, Chile, and one, like I say, is in Woodland, California. And what these sites allow us to do, or allow our breeders to do, is they can go into those fields with drip tape, and it's all drip irrigation. And in that way, they can very precisely manage the amount of water that those plants are getting through the season. We know that year in, year out, that there's not going to be a problem with the rain. It just does not rain in these areas. So in that way, our breeders can actually take a hybrid and put it under full irrigation, take that same hybrid, just in the same strip basically, or in the same area, put it under mild stress or under severe stress, and measure that water that's actually going out in those plots. So they can manage the stress environment that hybrid is under in a very small area. And this is kind of what we see whenever we evaluate these products. If you look at this figure, what we see on the y-axis is the standardized yield. This is kind of the percent expected yield under severe drought. And then along the x-axis is standardized yield under fully irrigated conditions. And again, this is 100% of what the expected yield would be under full irrigation. And what our breeders really looking for is hybrids that land in this area. But they always get these hybrids that perform very well under severe drought. But when you look at the fully irrigated situation, they don't perform very well under full irrigation. And then we have those products that are kind of the racehorse products that perform very well under full irrigation, but they don't do so well when they're stressed. But what our breeders are looking for is those that line up in this upper right-hand quadrant that perform very well under full irrigation, that exceed the expectations, but also exceed the expectations under severe drought. So what we wind up with is a hybrid that we're looking for a hybrid that will produce ears like this under severe stress, as opposed to one that looks like this under severe stress. And that's the difference. That's the ability that these breeders have at selecting hybrids in these two locations. And this is just another way of saying it, looking for hybrids that have the ability to protect their yield. And essentially what we have a hybrid, a tolerant hybrid that will produce a certain amount under full irrigation, but under limited irrigation will protect that yield at a very high level. So we actually see a very low percentage of loss of that yield potential under severe stress. And again, that's just using the native genes. And this is a rather busy slide and rather busy picture, but it's just kind of showing how we're using the accelerated yield technology to select for those genes. And basically what our breeders are doing now is they're selecting gene segments based on the phenotype of that plant. So they can go out and look at that plant. If they have hybrids that have some type of desirable trait, under stress, they can take that plant back in and use some molecular markers, identify those traits or those genes that are actually responsible for that drought tolerance, and they can start moving those traits into our elite genetics. So when we look at this, just kind of a summary, we can use these managed stress sites at Palooko, Chile, and Willis, California to select for hybrids improved drought tolerance using our accelerated yield technology. And some of the traits that, and similar to what TK was talking about, traits of interest include ear silking. We want hybrids that are very aggressively push their silks out, hybrids that have good late season plant health, improved root growth, tolerance to heat, and ear flex. Those are just some of the traits they're very interested in. Now let's move on. I'm not going to talk much about drought tolerance 2. That's where we're going to actually incorporate our transgenes into these drought 1 products to produce the drought tolerance 2 technology. But the breeders have defined a goal for drought tolerance 2, and what they want is a hybrid, a transgenic hybrid that's 10 bushels better than the equivalent non-transgenic hybrid under water-limited environments. But that hybrid is able to maintain parity with the non-transgenic counterpart under optimal conditions. Essentially, we want a hybrid that's going to give us the best of both worlds. Improved yield potential under drought stress, that's the hybrid that'll still be able to produce high yields under optimal conditions. And the things they're looking for, similar to what TK was talking about, we talked about vigorous early growth, more aggressive silking, and that's extremely important when we're trying to hit the nick at pollination. We want to make sure that those silks are emerged during that pollination period. We want to make sure that those hybrids have better tip field and greater kernel number. And we've all seen this on the right when we get a little bit of a stress situation, we start aborting those tip fields. We want to make sure that we keep or retain most of those kernels in the tip and also improve the kernel number. And that's going to translate to fair yields for your on-farm averages. Now, just kind of wrapping up here a little bit, we're, with our transgenes, again, we're about 5 to 7 years out in this. And I would say I'd probably lean more for that 5 years. But there are some lead events that we're looking at that are very promising. These are the events that we're going to move forward with, and we feel very comfortable with the yield potential that these can offer and the stability of these hybrids under water-limited environments. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and shut her down and